Good morning. It is about 5 to 11 on Tuesday morning. Anybody watching? How you doing? How you been? Excuse me, I'm still technically in my pajamas. I got up this morning. I got up around 9 o'clock. Well, I got up at 7 because I forgot to turn my alarm off. Turn that off and went back to bed. I got up around 9 and I came downstairs and I ran out last night and I bought a roast because I had taken chicken out for dinner last night, and when I got home and I went into the fridge for whatever reason, to check on the chicken probably, it didn't smell right. Okay, so I thought, whatever. I threw it back in the freezer. I have another thing of chicken in there. I could throw it all out because it's all from the same batch, right? I'm just going to toss it all out. But I want it frozen, and then I want to bag it, and then I want to toss it because tomorrow's garbage day? I'm confused. Anyway, garbage day is soon, so I want to make sure it's frozen when I put it out, so... Anyways, I ended up going out to get a pedicure, and while I was out, I just grabbed some burger buns and made burgers for the boys for last night. But then I went back out and grabbed this roast for dinner today. Yeah. So when I came down this morning, the first thing I did was, get the crock pot ready and peel and cut up some potatoes and, stick the potatoes and the meat in, whatever. And when I went in the fridge to get the roast out, I noticed that Monkey had forgotten his lunch today. I thought, gee, he might want that. So I opened it up because I know he packs trash lunches. And I was going to fix it. And all he had in there was like 2 Kool-Aid jammers and a sandwich of some sort. And I thought, really? So, again, I went into the fridge and I went to grab some cucumber, and all the cucumber has gone to trash. I'm like, okay. So I went to grab a snack because I noticed he didn't have any snacks in there. Well, I went into his little snack cubby and he's all out of snacks. I'm like, bro, why aren't you telling me when we're out of shit? Like, you make your lunches every goddamn day. Why are you not going into the crisper to get your veggies? Because if you did that, you would know that the cucumber was garbage and you'd tell me and I go get more. Like, it's not that deep. I even have a whiteboard on my fridge to write that shit down. Like, it's the first thing you see when you go over to the fridge is the fucking whiteboard on a black fridge, okay? So I put the extra Kool-Aid jammer back in his bag. And on the way to the school, you pass a Timmy's, so I did an emergency pull over and went into the Timmy's, and I got him a muffin because you gotta have something other than just a sandwich. I mean, it's all garbage. I have no idea what kind of sandwich he made himself. It's probably a fucking Nutella sandwich. In which case, great. He'll get a lot of chocolate and a lot of carbs today. He should be wide awake for class. Plus the Kool-Aid jammers. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. So, went into the office and I dropped that off for him. The lady behind the counter is chuckling, and I said, yeah. I said, he's lucky I happened to be off today. He'd be one hungry kid when he got home today. Jesus. I mean, if you're going to forget your lunch, the one day that your mom is off during the week is the day to do it, So good for him. So, it's not like last year when you were literally 2 minutes from the school, okay? You're a hike now. Like, you can't just go home and go grab your lunch. Yeah, so. And if I had any cash on me, I would have left him some cash at the office. He could have gotten something else to have from the cafeteria with his sandwich, but I don't have any cash on me. I very rarely carry cash. So, he's going to have to do with a sandwich and 2 Kool-Aid jammers until he gets home. So, on the way back, I was just going to go home. And it's a beautiful day today. It's like the 4th gorgeous day in a row. I'm keeping track, okay? It's a clear blue sky. There's a bit of a cool breeze, but it's a breeze. It's not a wind. Like, it's nice. It's like 7 degrees Celsius out right now. Like, oh yeah, it's so nice. So I was originally going to just go home and, you know, cut back my bushes and bundle all that up and get my air conditioning cover on. Things that I've been bitching that I'm going to do for weeks now, right? Got a little bit of tidy up to do around the house, but not much. Like, I keep that place pretty shipshape. But there is some, like, piles of stuff, like papers that I need to sort out, and what's garbage and what do I need, and like that kind of thing is starting to pile up a little bit, but like, whatever. The thing that's dangerous about that is I get like, enough is enough is enough, and I just throw it all out. I don't even look at it. Like, that's my solution. Like, fuck it, there, it's dealt with. So I need to handle it before I get there, you know? But it was so nice driving this morning that I ended up going on a little drive, which is odd because I loathe and despise driving. I really do. I friggin' hate driving. But I was rather enjoying myself. And, you know, I'm down around the big park on the water here, and there's all kinds of big trees, and they're still very pretty, a lot of them, the big bright colors. And yeah, so I thought, well, let's go get a coffee and a bagel and sit in the park and enjoy it for a little bit. I mean, there's always people here, but it's not packed. I think the last time I came here, I think it was like Labor Day weekend or something, and it was just like, it was stupid packed here. The whole park was packed. I drove through the whole park. It was packed. I had to muscle my way into a spot to park and vlog. It was insane. But it's not too bad today. It's not too bad at all. There's some people playing frisbee, and there's lots of people walking their dogs. Lots of people walking their little toddlers. I can hear one screaming right now. Somebody get that kid a muzzle. I do not have the patience I used to have. Oh, fucking shut up. Nah. Fingernails down a chalkboard, man. Kids. Fucking. I like babies. Number one, they can't talk. I love that. They don't do anything. Bounce them around, you know, love on them a little bit, you know, make your stupid faces. You can be absolutely ridiculous with babies and they don't care. They think it's awesome. Then you give them back. And it's all good. Toddlers are nasty, vile, evil creatures. Teenagers are very much the same as toddlers. I don't mind, like my ideal age, like, for doing stuff with kids is maybe between, like, 6 and maybe 10 or 11. You know, because they're still down for stuff. They're not embarrassed to be around you. They haven't reached that I have no parents, I was hatched from an egg syndrome, right? That teenagers tend to go through. I remember it well. It's a short window, but it is enjoyable. It's a short window where I like the kids too. I tease my kids all the time. My kids are, what's Boo Boo? Boo Boo's like 22 and Monkey's 14. Yeah, Boo Boo's like 22. 22, 23? I lose track. How am I? Something like that. It's close. Yes, you tell her to stop. Good mama. Good mama. You tell her. Shut the fuck up. Enough is enough. Yeah. My kids are older, and I tease them all the time, you know. Don't have kids. Don't have kids. Don't do it. If you do. Because like, oh, you want to be a grandma? But no. I'm good. I'm good. It's fine. I'm good. But if you do, for some reason, decide that you're going to have kids, do not think that this bitch is taking them on weekends. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I have been raising babies since I was in my 20s. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. It's fine. It's fine. You are not bringing screaming, dripping, oozing, nasty, vile, temperamental beasts to my house to run around and make a mess and eat all my food. Put their little fingerprints all over everything. No. I will come to your house. I will happily visit and play and goof around and whatever. And, you know, you and your wifey can fuck off for like an hour, 2 at the max. And then come home and I'm going to beeline the hell out of there. I'm not cleaning nothing. No. They can eat your food, make a mess at your house. I will love on them there, and then I'm going the fuck home to my clean, well-stocked house. Yep, that's how that's going. I will have the family over once a year for Christmas. I will do a Christmas dinner. You can come over after all your morning Christmas crap. I will see you for dinner. And then go the fuck home. Take your brood with you. I do not have the patience for that crap. I'm a lot like my dad. I feel that way. I feel my dad was that way. I can remember my mom telling us, once we got older, she never would say anything when we were kids. I mean, my parents, well, I know my mom loathed my dad, okay? Absolutely loathed him. And rightfully so, as far as I'm concerned. It's funny that my dad doesn't understand it. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But anyways, when we were kids, she put on a damn good show, okay? She really did. My dad was shocked when he found out that my mom didn't like him at all. Like, not at all. No like at all. None. She she spread it on thick, okay? She would always invite, when he came, on the occasion that he actually came to get us, she would always invite him in and offer him a beer. And, you know, I had friends back in the day whose dads weren't even allowed to park in the driveway to get their kids. Like, they couldn't even get out of the car they would have to park like on the street in front of the house and wait for the kids to come out. Like it was intense. It was intense. My brother and I were very, very lucky in that regard. Like, divorce sucks, and being a child of divorce is extremely well, I don't know about now. It's more common now. When I was growing up, like in the 80s, it was rare. And we were teased brutally about it. Like, brutally about it. To the point where, I mean, we got into physical fights with kids in the yard over it. Mainly when we hit like grade 5 grade 5 or junior high, like grade 6, 7, 8, like physical fights in the yard over it. It was crazy, because by the time I hit junior high, my brother and I were in the same classroom. We were like a year, like I was a year behind him, but we were in like a split that way. So for all of junior high, no, my first year of junior high, for my grade 6 year, his grade 7 year, we were in the same class together, and kids would just get on us. I can remember one kid getting on us about our parents being divorced, and then actually calling my mother a whore. Now, at that time, I was just starting the I don't have parents thing. Like, I wasn't talking to my mom. I had nothing to do with her. Like, at home, she would say good morning or whatever, and I would literally just walk past her. Like, and it was like that for probably 3 or 4 years. Probably longer than that. It went through high school. So it was a good long time. I was brutal to my mother. But that's okay. Like, I could be that way. You don't talk shit about my mom. I will kill you. Like, so this kid was running his mouth and then actually called my mother a whore. Now, my brother, even in grade 7, was like 5'11". Like, he was tall. My brother's always been tall. Okay? And back then, he wasn't as big either. He was like, he had beef to him, but he wasn't overweight in any way. Okay? That started in high school. And he had a reputation. My brother had a hell of a temper and took a lot of it out on me. But I mean, he had a dangerous temper. Like, I'm surprised. Like, he could have on several occasions killed somebody, and on many occasions could have killed me. Like, I can remember him taking an aluminum bat to a kid in middle school. I can remember him, he would have been maybe in like grade 3 or 4, throwing one of those, you know, the old desks with the chairs attached to it, right? They were metal, and then the top was like actual wood. We used to carve stuff in them in detention and stuff all the time. Yeah, those tables. He threw one of those at the teacher, like he was sitting in it, and the teacher said something to him that kind of triggered my brother, and he got up, picked that thing up over his head, fucking tossed it at her in like grade 4. So, and I'd become a scrapper myself. It wasn't out of choice, okay? I am not, I don't believe in fighting. I never have. I don't like it. The thought of it gives me anxiety, but I will defend myself, and I will also defend my mother's name, I'm just saying. So, my brother and I were, like I said, in the same class, and this guy decided to call my mother a whore, and it was like instant. Seriously, bro? It's like gloves off, and the literal chase was on, and we chased this kid. We had a huge classroom. We chased this kid all around the classroom. Our homeroom teacher was like an acting vice principal at our school at the time, so she was in the office, which was actually just like next door to our classroom. And he actually ran out of the classroom and into the office thinking that he would be safe. My brother backed off. but I'm a lot smaller and a lot more wiry. I ducked and weaved around people, and I jumped over the reception desk, like the great big table. It was huge. I jumped up over that thing to get to this kid. Oh, I wanted him. He was dead. That's it. It was happening. Witnesses be damned. And my teacher actually grabbed me. I used to wear hoodies all the time. She grabbed me by the back of my hoodie, literally threw me under her arm. I was like, put me down. He's fucking dead. And my brother's screaming behind me. And there was actually another guy in that class that we kind of, sometimes we would get along, usually not. He was a dick. He was an absolute dick. But he had a very, very rough life. His dad used to beat the crap out of him. I don't know what was up with his mom, but I know he was very protective of her. And when he heard this kid call our mom a whore, that's it. He was like, it got broke up anywho, and we were told to stay away from him. He was a bus student, so we had to wait in our classroom while he got on the bus and whatever. And this other kid came up to my brother and I and was like, I got it, don't worry about it. That's not happening. You don't call somebody's mom a whore and walk away. I got it, it's fine. And he did. He got onto that bus, he beat the shit out of that kid, walked away. I think he ended up getting a suspension for it, because technically it was on school property, and it was technically still during school hours. I'm pretty sure he got suspended for it, but he didn't care. I was like, oh shit, like now we're gonna, there's gonna be, because he got suspended. He was like, no, I'll happily take a suspension for that shit. That's, nope. You don't talk that way about anybody's mom. No fucks given. Take a suspension for it. Cool beans. I don't know where I was going with that story, but there you go. Don't remember. Oh, smoke went down the wrong way. Vaping problems. I don't remember why I started that story, so whatever. There you go. There's a story for you. We can make this video a story time now. Oh, because kids were nasty with kids that were parents were divorced back in the day. That's where that came from. Yeah. Yeah. By the time I hit high school, like in the 90s, nobody gave a shit anymore. But when I was a kid growing up, it was a huge deal. Huge deal. But yeah, mid to late 90s, nobody gave a shit anymore. Oh, man. Yeah, I always felt bad for my friends who couldn't, their dads couldn't even park in the driveway. Like, that's insane to me. Seriously? Like, what happened? What was so bad? I mean, honestly, unless he was beating the shit out of you. Like, I don't know, like, that just blows my mind. Blows my friggin' mind. And I got to know one of my friends, like my one friend whose dad had to park on the road, like couldn't get out of the car, had to park on the road. It was mad. I knew the dad. Like he would pick up it was my friend and her brother. Well, I was friends with both of them, but whatever. And every so often, either the girl or the boy would invite me over for the weekend. So, and it didn't matter because I was friends with both, so it like wasn't weird. So every once in a blue moon, I think I did it twice. Because the sister actually became very annoying to me. Like, we just sort of grew apart as friends. She was, I don't know, whiny. And she liked to talk shit. Like, she would say shit about you to other people behind your back. I'm all for shit talking, but do it to my face. Like, I can respect that. And I'll help you out, too. I mean, there ain't nothing nobody can say about me that I haven't thought in my own head. and probably 30 times worse. Like, I'm just saying. So go ahead and say it to my face. Maybe I'll come up with something I knew that I haven't thought of before. Like, oh no. It's fine. Show me your creativity. So I just stopped going. But I had gotten to know the man. Like, he was super nice. Like, he actually kind of overdid it with the kids. Like, trying to make up for things, right? Like, I get it. I never got any of that myself, but but I think my mom tried to make up for my dad. I don't think she tried to overcorrect for her part of the situation. It was what it was, and we all kind of understood that. But I think even as kids, to a degree, we kind of got that. Because you see some of the struggle when you're living in it, right? Like, you know, I don't know. Anyways, but I do think she tried to overcorrect on his behalf, if that makes sense. But yeah, it just blows my mind. Like I said, I mean, unless there's some major traumatic shit going on, like, you know, homeboys beating the crap out of you, or there's some, you know, something that I can't say on the YouTubes, I don't get that kind of reaction at all. Like, when Monkey's dad and I broke up, it was rocky. It's still rocky. There's damn good reason why we are not together, okay? Because I'd kill him. You know, and now that he's left his wife, dealing with him sucks ass. I never used to deal with him. I dealt with her. She's awesome. I love her. I will love her to the end of time. She's fantastic. But yeah, going back to dealing with him, luckily we're at the stage where, like I said, Monkey's 14, so it's like, that's all you, bro. I don't have to deal with him. When he comes to the house, I'm cordial, I'm polite, I invite him in, you know, whatever. But I really want no part of him. He is not my kind of people at all. But I would never put him down, especially in front of Monkey, and I would certainly never make him, I mean, unless he got so nasty, like when he was called in the summertime, when we were trying to get Monkey's orthodontic stuff sorted, and I told him that I was going to pay for it and put it in through my taxes, and I'm done waiting for him, and blah 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 blah. And he was calling me he called me stupid, he called me brain dead, he called me retarded, he called me all kind, like, he called me everything but a white woman, okay? And rather than losing my shit, which I really fucking wanted to, I just hung up on him. That was my solution. Before I say something that I can't take back, we're done. And I texted him and said, okay, you know what? We're done talking. I don't know who you think you are, but my mother never spoke to me that way. So, like, I know that, you know, we are not together and you don't know me no more, but, like, did you ever? Like, in what world do you think you can speak to me like that? Bro. And eventually he did actually apologize. I even kept the text because that's a first. That is a first ever. But even that, I mean, if he kept that kind of shit up, then it would be, yes, you can text Monkey from the driveway, like, by all, he's never parked in my driveway, ever. He parks on the side of the road. Whatever you're comfortable with, bro, I don't care. But you can text him and he can come out to you. You are not welcome in my house. Like, if that's the way you're going to talk to me, and I mean, not just saying it, I mean, like, screaming. He was screaming so loud that day that my buddy could hear him, and he wasn't on speaker. He was just screaming that loud that my buddy could hear him on the other side of the backyard. Like, we were outside in my backyard. It was insane. And screaming and yelling at me like that. I mean, if he was standing in front of me, I probably would have ended up punching him because it's very aggressive to me. And I don't like when people get like that in my face. I take it as a threat and I just fucking lose my shit. Like I said, I don't like fighting, but I do have triggers. Like, I do have a temper. I have a very bad temper. And I do have triggers. And screaming at me like that is one of them. That is a good way to get hit. It's that, like, and when I say triggered, I mean that, like, seeing red thing, right? Like, just, there is no thought process. Jen leaves the chat, and yeah, like, yeah. So, but I mean, we haven't actually reached that point where, well, in the beginning we did. In the beginning, he was so belittling and putting me down all the time and second guessing me and all this kind of stuff, where I actually said, not only can you not pick him up, like come to the door, you're not allowed on my property. And then it got to the point where I said, I don't even want to deal with you, so we can go down to the Family Visit Center, which is run by CAS. And it's a place where you can go and drop off your kids with CAS there in a way that it's staggered. So I would go and drop Monkey off and then leave, and then he would be allowed to come in and pick him up, right? So there's no contact with the parents. And I think you each, well, back when Boo Boo and I's dad did that, and that was a whole different story. Boo Boo's dad was dangerous. Yeah, like, I was scared of him. I wasn't scared of Monkey's dad. I was just done with his shit. Boo Boo's dad was a different ball of wax. But back when I did that with Boo Boo's dad, I believe it was like $2 from each parent for that. And I told them in Boo Boo's case that Boo Boo's dad could front the whole thing. Fuck him. Because if it were entirely up to me, there would be no visitation at all. So I didn't want to be. It was an anxiety attack every time I had to do that. Like, literally. I would have to take the day off work. I think it was the first few months that we did that. I would have to take the day off work because I could not function. It was bad. And then I got to a place where it was, okay, I need to go to work because all I'm going to do is worry. Like, for the 2 or 3 hours that he's there. And his was fully supervised. They weren't allowed to leave that building, right? And then my mom, if I was working, because it was usually on like a Saturday, if I was working, which I tried to plan that I was after a certain point in time of going through this, my mom would go and pick him up, and she would text me and let me know that she had him and it was good. It was, because I mean, and then after I knew that he was back with my mom, I always had to, I had to work my lunch break around his pickup, because once I got that text that, you know, he was gone and Boo Boo was with my mom, I was a fucking mess for like an hour. I mean, it was rough. It sucked. I'm choking up thinking about it. It was a lot. It was a lot. So, I mean, like, I get, you know, the need to protect and whatever, but I mean, to say that, to not be cordial, at least, to not put on a show, okay, to pretend for the 15 minutes or so that the, you know, the kids are getting picked up, unless there's something really wicked going on. I'm sorry, I've been on both sides. No, you don't treat, that is still a parent. That is still the other parent of your child. You did that together. Like, in that respect, there needs to be respect, right? Or at least I think there should be, and it should be automatic. until it's, yeah. How long have I been? Oh shit, we're over half an hour. I am so sorry. That was kind of a story time rant, wasn't it? Damn. Okay, I'm gonna go. So anybody watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk later.